Hello, you're welcome once again to my channel. Today we are discussing a question concerning sex selection. The question is, please, do you have an idea of determining the pregnancy sex of any childbirth, boy or girl, the proper time to meet for any of the two? So this is the question. How do I determine the sex of my child, either a boy or a girl? When should I meet my husband? When should I meet my wife? In order for us to have either a boy or a girl. So everything concerning that will be discussed in this particular video as you are seeing me right now. If this is my first time of meeting me, my name is Dr. Chidebereze, and on this channel we discuss about health issues and importance of exercising, as well as any present issues within our community. Please remember to subscribe and then turn on your notification button so that anytime we'll be discussing any video, we are placing any video on this channel, you'll be able to get my videos. Please subscribe to support us, as well as remember to comment, like, and also help me share any of my videos. Thank you so much as you follow me. So you're welcome back. Now, concerning sex selection, there are some principles that we must understand before we go into this discussion. Now, there are two ways of determining the sex of your child. You have what is called the natural method, and then you have what is called the artificial method. But this guiding principle, which I'm going to discuss now, is very important so that you also understand it, because it's a principle that guides both the natural and artificial method. What's the principle? The principle is that for you to have a male child, the man in question is going to produce what is called the sperm, and the sperm contains both the Y chromosomes and the X chromosomal sperm cells. So if you are going to have a male child, it means that the man's Y chromosomal sperm cells is going to meet with the woman's egg, because the woman's egg is always X. So you are going to have XY, that will give you a boy. Then if you are going to have a female, it means that the man is going to produce the man's X chromosomal sperm cells is going to meet with the woman's egg, and that will be XX, meaning that you have a girl or a female. This is the basic principle concerning sex selection, either artificial or natural. Now, concerning the issue of natural method, there are two things you have to understand concerning sex selection via the natural method, and that is what is going to benefit most of my people, most of people that are going to see this video. Now, in the natural method, there are two ways. You have what is called the Shettles method, and you have what is called the follicular method or follicular tracking method. Now, in the Shettles method, it is otherwise called the timed intercourse method. The idea behind the Shettles method is that depending on the time you have sex with your partner, as for instance as a man, depending on the time you meet your wife, that will determine the kind of sex you're going to produce. For instance, if you meet your woman at the peak of her ovulation, meaning as much as close as the point of her ovulation, the tendency of you producing a male child is higher. The reason behind this principle is that the man's sperm lasts for about 4 to 5 days. That's the lifespan of a sperm that is produced by the man in the body of the woman. And then, as I told you before, that the sperm has both the Y chromosomes and the X chromosomes. So, but the Y chromosome part of the sperm lasts shorter than the X chromosomes part of it. The X chromosome lasts for about 4 to 5 days. You understand? Why the Y part lasts shorter than that. And then, if you have sex, say 3 to 4 days before your ovulation, it means that by that time most of the Y chromosomal sperm cells would have died. So the chances of you having a male child is reduced, while the chances of you having a female child is higher. That is the principle guiding the Shettles method, otherwise called the time sexual intercourse. This is one of the things you must understand. So if you want to have a male child, it means that you should know the time of your ovulation. You as a woman or you as a man should also track, you should be able to track your woman's cycle and know her time of ovulation. So if you have sex, say within the first 12 hours of ovulation, that is at the peak of ovulation, you are likely going to have a male child. Unlike if you have sex 3 to 4 days before her ovulation, you are likely going to have a female child. This is the thing that the Shittus method is saying. That's one thing you must understand. Another thing also guiding this Shittus method is that the woman in question is supposed to go into orgasm before the man ejaculates. The idea behind this is that when the woman goes into orgasm, she's going to produce her vaginal fluid, that is the productive fluid. That secretion that comes out during orgasm is alkaline in nature. It is not acidic. You must understand that the woman's vagina is naturally acidic, but following her orgasm, she produces the sexual fluid, which is alkaline in this instance. That alkaline nature helps the Y chromosomal sperm cells to move faster. Do you understand? You must also know that the Y chromosomal sperm cell moves faster than the X chromosomal sperm cells. So they move faster than them. And because they move faster, they also die faster. And as they move faster also, they fertilize the egg faster, assuming the egg is out at the point that the man has ejaculated. So you must, as much as possible, go into orgasm. And what enhances orgasm of the woman is her foreplay. It means that the man and the woman must engage in sexual foreplay before the main sexual activity, because the foreplay is going to help the woman to go into orgasm as early as possible. These are some of the things that you must understand using the Shittus method. This has worked for many people, and I believe it's going to work for you if you are going to observe the principles guiding Shittus method, which is number 1 is to have sex depending on the type of gender that you want. If you want a male gender, it means you're going to have sex as much as close as possible at the time of your ovulation. But if you want to have a female, you're going to have sex, say 3 to 4 days before your ovulation. It is not 100% effective, yes, but it works, and it has worked for many people. Do you understand? Now, also you must also go into orgasm as a woman. You must have engaged in what is called sexual foreplay. This is number 1 thing you must do. Another thing you must also do is that another thing concerning natural method of sex selection is what is called follicular tracking method. What you do in this one is that you must start doing what is called abnormal scan about 7 days of your cycle. So say you started seeing your menses 7 days ago. On the 7th day of your cycle, you start doing follicular tracking by doing abnormal scan, and that scan will focus on the follicle. The idea behind this is that it is known that as the egg of the woman is growing and it reaches about 25 millimeter, when it reaches that 25 millimeter, it's going to rupture. So within that point of rupturing, if a man should meet you at that point in time, you are likely going to have a male child within that point of a rupturing of the egg. Do you understand? So that is concerning the follicular method. So these are the 2 natural ways of determining the sex of your child. Do you understand? So we have mentioned them. Now concerning the artificial method of sex selection, you have what is called the IVF with pre-implantation genetic testing. IVF, that is in vitro fertilization. So what happens there is that what we do is that we retrieve the egg of the woman and then bring the sperm of the man to use it to fertilize the egg outside the woman's body. Now after doing that, we now do a testing. We now do the test to determine the sex of the fertilized egg before we now put it back in the body of the woman. That way, we'll be able to be sure that whether this baby is XY or XX. You must understand that this artificial method is almost like 100% effective. But then there is issue of ethics, because some countries do not allow that. In short, most countries do not allow IVF with pre-implantation genetic testing. Also, most religion, Christianity for instance, does not allow that. So there is issue of ethics concerning IVF with genetic testing. This is another way of determining the sex of your child via the artificial method. You have what is also called with the Erickson's method, otherwise called albumin separation method, but it is not as effective as the first one, which I have already mentioned. You have what is also called the flow cytometry method, which is also another method of determining the sex of your child. Now, in this method, what we do is that we use a fluorescent dye to stain the sperm of the man, and depending on the color of the spermatozoa, we can now select any of them which is now much more related to the one we want. Assuming you want an X, you want a female child, we'll use that, the one that is more related to the female, and use it to fertilize the egg of the woman, and then implant it back to the woman. So these are the ways, the artificial method of determining the sex of your child. So I want to thank you for listening, and I wish if you can help me to share it so that other people can also learn about sex selection, especially the natural method of determining the sex of their children. Thank you so much.